Welcome, everybody. So sweet to see all of you today as we journey home to nature. We're going to call on our ancestors to join us with this first song. And then we're going to presence ourselves with just our name, our water basin, or river basin, as I think of it, and our land acknowledgement for those of us in the US or wherever we are that you may know your land acknowledgement. And that invites the spirits of the land to join us in this beautiful way, in this gathering and celebration today. And so let's begin our song that was passed to me by Malidoma Some of the Gagaru people. And it reaches way back to the beginning of this wave of humans. So we all have ancestors in common when we reach that far back. And this song is going to invite them in. We're going to look first to the north, and then we're going to look to the west. Okay? Harasamane, 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 oh, Harasamane, oh, Haramamane, 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 oh, Haramamane, oh, Harasamane, 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 oh, Harasamane, oh, Haramamane, 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 oh, Haramamane, oh. Lydia Coesque, Dancing Heron, Dances with Death, Paul Miguel. In my ancestral Salagi homeland, with Wayunwi Ganaita, the Long Man, also known as the French Broad River Basin, on our sacred mountain, Adagul, which means helping many people. And we are the people who resisted both the removal on the Trail of Tears and the reservation the federal government calls Cherokee by hiding in these mountains. And that is part of the reason I want to share this journey home to nature with you today, because it was nature that allowed us to resist the removal. She fed us with the wild food. She protected us with the caves. She nourished us with the springs and the water. She allowed us to resist and to stand in our strength. And for that, we are so grateful always to nature. So thank you all so much for joining me today for this sweet connection to the spirits of the land. And as you introduce yourself, we're going to set the rhythm of the mountain streams as they flow down the mountainside. We're going to flow with the speed of the water, one after another, just real quickly. And I'm going to call on you if I can keep up with myself. If I don't, just come in when you're ready. So, Molly, will you present yourself, please?
Hello, hi all. Really so grateful to be here with you in this space. Thank you, Gail. Ja sam Mali Saloshinja, a i moja voda je Vrana. So I'm Mali. I'm joining from island of Lashin, and my body of water is called the Crow Lake. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Michelle, will you present yourself and your water basin and your land acknowledgement, please?
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Germain. I'm here in Tampa Bay, a Florida native, so my homeland. The watershed is Hillsborough River, and I live on Sweetwater Creek, all which flow into Tampa Bay and into the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm grateful to be here.
Sweet. Thank you, Michelle. Pamela, will you present yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Pamela Schreiner in Ottawa, and I'm in the Ottawa River watershed, which is the traditional territory of the Algonquin people.
Thank you, Pamela. Robert, will you present yourself, please?
Namaste. I live in the Lipsick River, next to the Lipsick River, next to the Delaware Bay, which is the ancestral lands of the Lenni Lenape.
Thank you, Robert. Eileen, will you present yourself, please?
Better unmute myself first. Hello, everyone. I'm Eileen Smoke. I'm in the northwest corner of Washington State in the Skagit River watershed, where it goes into the Salish Sea, the home of the Skagit, the Nooksack, and the Swinomish, just right around here. There are 37 indigenous peoples that live just on this side of the mountains, I believe. So thank you for doing this, Gail. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Eileen. Robert, will you present? Oh, sorry, we already did that. Martin, will you present yourself, please?
Hello, Martin in Kansas City, the Kaw River watershed or Kanza River. I'm the Kanza Indians and many other nations that migrated through, of course. Glad to be here, Gail.
Thank you, Martin. Yes. Mariah, will you present yourself, please?
Yes, hi, my name is Mariah, and currently I've been traveling a lot. So right now I am closest to Mono Lake in Bishop, California. Mono is the name of the tribe that used to caretake for the lake.
Beautiful, thank you. Katerina, will you present yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. This is Katerina from watershed De Vechte. It is a very old river from the east to the north, and we travel together with the saltwater Frisi people, discovering all the land, which is water now, the difference between the salt and the waterland and the land. And I'm happy to be here. So many invitations, and it's always a little late here, but there's a lot happening here in these lands, in these lower lands. A lot of transformation about farming, very close connected. So back to nature is a really, really special theme for me. Thank you, Jill, for inviting.
Yes.
And really happy to see Kate as well. Because, yes.
Great, will you present yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm here on the eastern side of the sacred Pahasapa in western South Dakota. Red Clover Kate. The little creek is Elk Creek that runs into, they call it the Bear Butte Creek watershed, which runs into the Belle Fourche River, into the Cheyenne River, and down to the Missouri. This gypsy soul just got planted here. It's the homeland of many tribes, the Lakota, the 7 bands of the Ocheti Sakowin, they call it, and the Mandan and the Arikara and the Crow. We're all in this vicinity. So I'm just grateful that we're trying to tap into these. It feels rather like a synthesis of, we've done the birds and the animals and the trees and the different elements, and this harmony of nature feels like a real synthesis to me. So thank you all for coming.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Kate. And Gabri, will you present yourself, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can? Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Gabriele. I'm in London near the Thames, and I am here because I've been invited to join this circle. Thank you. I am great to participate in this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gabri. And Cynthia, can you present yourself? May not be able to on the iPhone. That's okay.
Sorry, I'm on the phone right now.
Okay. Okay.
I think she said she was on the phone, so
Yeah, so we'll
not be able
air
to
it.
do it right now.
Yeah, come in when you can, Cynthia. Did I get everybody? Martin, did I miss anybody? Can you help me out? I think I got everybody. Raise your hand if I missed you. Okay, we're good. So we're gonna sing the Salah, Becoming One Mind song. When we sing the song, we weave and wander all over the place, and we join together and become one mind. And then we make this a sacred place. We ask all of the ancestors, the spirits on the land, spirits of the river basins that we called in, the stones, the ancient mountains, all of our ancient ancestors are with us. And when we sing the song, we all become one. Don't worry if you don't know the words, just pick a single word or a line or hum or vibrate. Let's just find that frequency and become one mind together. Hey, 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 oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Can you unmute so we can hear everybody? Martin, can you unmute everybody so we can really frequency together?
Gil, it never works on Zoom.
Let's try it. We don't care about that delay. We're not out delay.
All right.
Yeah, I want to hear that rattle, Kate. Thank you. Hey, hey, Does feel good?
Yeah, it's lovely. You know what, Gail, if you had the loudest voice, it would work great. But we're kind of following you. And then, you know, it's like the low tones come through a little bit. And okay, well, you know what I'm saying. I gotta vibe with you longer before I can unmute. I lose her.
There's nothing to lose. It's all long. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah. Let's that we've become one mind. We are bigger than we are as individuals. As individuals, we're a drop of water. And when we become one mind, we are the ocean. Are the world soul connected through our soul. So we're going to make this a sacred container, make it a sacred place with the Lakota song that makes it a sacred place and the thunder beat. And we're only going to sing it 2 times for those of you who know it and want to join in, because we are not in the ceremony of 4s. We are not in Nipikaga ceremony of 4s. So we only sing the song 2 times. Wakantanka Topakea Wakantaka Topakea Thank you. Thank you all. I feel you. Feel that strong connection. We join in these ritual ceremonies to become one when we all do the same thing, and to honor all of those around us, seen and unseen. in these sacred ways, in these sacred containers that we create just by asking and acknowledging the spirits of the land, the spirits of the ancestors. And I'm so grateful that we can all be here together in this way today, and that we can dance in this way, and that we can share our experiences with each other. So we're going to engage in ritual to move into things as a full body experience. We're going to break through into transcendence as a human need to experience the embodied symbolic. Our soul speaks in the language of symbols and images. And that is how we will speak today. We enter with our mind, which is prevalent in dominant culture, and we slowly set aside our mind so that we can balance our walk on this earth with body and spirit. And we feel that, especially after our dance. And we'll share our experience of our dance after the dance. And we'll share some things with our mind as we come into our dance as community, embodied in actionable activity of guided dance that started with native shamanic drumming that I did, and I sent to Gabri, and he came in bringing the rest of the music. And this time, this particular song found Gabri in some challenges with his hand, and so he had sent us the crickets, the recording of the crickets when he was visiting his homeland in Italy. And so we are going to be accompanied by the crickets and the gong here on this mountain that I sent to Gabri. So Gabri, will you tell us just a little bit about that creation that you did with this music?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm kind of recorded the cricket in Italy in this beautiful place on the outskirts of Rome, which is all natural reserve, and it's amazing because wherever you go, there is so much cricket sound. They telling you and the crickets are fantastic because they kind of bear of happiness and love in your life. The cricket are like also they have if you look at them, they have a long antennas, and that kind of symbolized intuition and sensitivity and connection to the spirit's world. Now there is a way they experimented in 1992 was done this, where the cricket was recorded, and then the sound of the cricket was being slowed down to a point where they together made this incredible angelical sound, which is incredible. If you listen to it, I would recommend to look for it. And to me, they help to connect to the divine, and so anyway, they are real cricket recorded, and there is some synthesizer there, and just very peaceful. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Gabri. You get to hear the crickets and dance with the crickets today. So, actually, Robert told me about a song that Robbie Robertson recorded on his album for the Native people. And I'm not sure when that was. It was maybe in the 90s or maybe in the 80s, maybe, I don't know. Robert may know, and I've asked him to start us off today with a quote from Joseph Campbell when he talks about myth, because that's the language, that's the same language of symbol and image that we'll be working with today, that we'll be dancing with. And, you know, all the fairy tales and myths are resolved in the forest. So many of them take place in the forest, and that's that connection with nature that we're going to be working with today. So Robert, would you please tell us what Joseph Campbell has to say about that?
Yeah, sure. Yes, it had to unmute myself. Myth is metaphor. The imagery of mythology is symbolic of spiritual powers within us. When these are interpreted as referring to historical or natural events, which science in turn shows could not have occurred, then you throw the whole thing out. You see, myths do not come from a concept system. They come from a life system. They come out of a deeper center. We must not confuse mythology with ideology. Myths come from where the heart is and where the experience is, even as the mind may wonder why people believe these things. The myth does not point to a fact. The myth points beyond facts to something that informs the fact. That was Joseph Campbell.
Yes, thank you, Robert. That was from An Open Life. Joseph Campbell in conversation with Michael Toms. And now, Michelle, will you tell us what Clarissa Pinto Estes has to say about what we're doing today?
And then go back to that. Okay. Like night dreams, stories often use symbolic language, therefore bypassing the ego and persona and traveling straight to the spirit and soul who listen for the ancient and universal instructions embedded there. Because of this process, stories can teach, correct errors, lighten the heart darkness, provide psychic shelter, assist transformation, and heal wounds. And that's from Clarissa Pinkola Estes, The Gift of Story, a wise tale about what is enough.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. What is enough is a good question. And of course, she's the woman who wrote Women Who Run with Wolves. And so many of our songs, we like to run with them. Okay, and now we're going to bring in John Trudell, one of our favorites. And Martin, will you tell us what John Trudell has to say on this topic?
That one I don't know.
No, you don't have that one? That's the
No.
one I sent you. I
Oh,
sent you the short one. Can you get it, or you want me to do it?
I'm not the one you want reading anyway.
Okay, okay. John Trudell says, listen as the trees sing their songs. In the wind, lyrics and melodies for the spirit senses, songs of laughter and life, timeless things in timeless places. Do not be afraid to be strong. Do not be afraid to love, but always remember. And this is what we do. We listen to the voices of our ancestors. We listen to the world around us, and it takes us back to those original human experiences that's so embedded within the marrow of our bones. And we remember when we gather like this and when we bring in others. And Mariah's here to tell us about her courageous adventure that she is on as a result of listening to a sacred mountain.
Yes, thank you. I'm so happy to be here and to share all of the things, all of the wisdom that has come through in the last few months. I don't know if you want me to speak on that now or to do that later, but it's all up to you.
I want you to share your experience of listening to the mountain and engaging in a relationship with the mountain so that we can learn to listen. Just the experience of that voice. What does it sound like? And how do you recognize it? And how does it answer in return when you do?
Yeah, I think that as a human being, where we've often spent most times in our mind, it's one of those things that's about getting out of the head and into the heart and into the body, and the wisdom of spirit often, or at least in my relationship with these mountains, the way that they speak through is very similar to the resonance of my own voice, of the way that I speak, because they want to be able to communicate in the ways that you can listen. And so I think early on in the journey, it was like the questioning over and over again of like, am I hearing this correctly? Am I hearing this correctly? And how often it's in the quietness and the stillness where we let go of the mind and give in to the wisdom of the heart, that kind of opens those doors for nature beings and mountains in all different cases to be able to hear the wisdom of them. And I would say the three mountains that right now I'm working with, that are, the first one that called out was Mount Shasta, and her voice, she comes to me as a woman, very, very gentle and prominent, very similar to a grandmother. And I remember the first time that I heard her voice, it was that it becomes so clear when it's guidance that is not of your own, as it takes you out of the mind and right into the heart of just being able to listen and to hear. And she came to me a year ago through a dream, first, and then as time went on and I kept connecting to the spirit of the mountain, it wasn't until about like 3 months after having all these dreams that she came to me in reality and spoke to me softly and asked for my help, for support in praying for her and praying and connecting all these other mountains together, these other mountain spirits that have been neglected or trampled on or used. And one of the biggest ones that started all of it was Atakula, which is Mount Mitchell in the Appalachians. And that was what pretty much started our journey to Mount Shasta, because we were doing a despacho, or a sacred bearing ritual, where we were beginning our journey. And that was when the spirit of the mountain explained that that came in as a masculine voice. So it's often, sometimes, or at least in Andean mysticism, they talk about how each mountain has either a feminine trait or a masculine trait. Most mountains have a masculine attribute, but oftentimes whatever is supposed to be of most medicine to you comes through whichever voice. It could be masculine or feminine, it's all one anyway. So Atakula came in as a masculine voice and began our journey to Mount Shasta, asking us to bury a stone in Mount Shasta, which would be creating what we know now as a seke line, or a direct energy line from mountain to mountain. And so we drove to Mount Shasta to do that. And in regards to that, we got there, and then it told us the next mountain that we were supposed to go to, which was the sacred valley of Kauai. And we found our stone in Shasta and then buried it on Kauai, and created this seke line between three very prominent mountains. And what we've realized in the unfolding of everything was that in Andean mysticism, they have this thing called a yan and teen. It's your sacred opposite. So we have Mount Shasta has both masculine and feminine properties, and the grid work that we believe, that we were told to do, connects the masculine of Atapula to the feminine of the island of Kauai. And, it's been a journey of deep listening, deep listening. And that was probably the hardest part of the being human is trying to get out of all of these beliefs that we're not connected, or that's just a crazy voice you're hearing, there's no way. And I would have to say the only thing that I would recommend in order to be able to feel the stillness is to just be completely immersed in nature and to trust your inner voice. I think we're often taught to question ourselves so deeply, but we are made of the same materials that all of these mountains and seas and oceans and waters and skies are. So our connection is already there. It's just getting out of our own way and showing up by being still and quiet and honoring.
Oh, yes. That's so beautiful, Mariah. Thank you so much. I can feel and hear the difference in experience in just words, direct experience. And that's so beautiful. And of course, Atapula is the mountain that I live on and that I come to you from every time we've gathered. And that's where her journey began. And hopefully it'll bring us together at some point when she comes back. And if anyone wants to support Mariah in her adventure and her sacred work that she's doing, I'm not sure the best way to do that. I don't know if Eileen is near where she is in California, but if you know someone who's close to Mariah, she's just very courageous in doing odd jobs and whatever she can do to help along the way and make her way through the world at such a tender time in our society and our culture. So Mariah, what is the best way to connect with you if anyone wants to help support your journey?
Yeah, a lot of it would be through Facebook because we're often in places without a signal or without service. So I think I could probably send to the group my name and you could add me on Facebook. And then I also have a Venmo that we've been using. It's called Painting the Earth. And I could put that in the comments as well. But yes, support of any way of, we are now at the end of, we're trusting spirit so much that we're at that jumping off point where we've been able to sustain ourselves for the past 4 months since we began the journey in May. And now we're at our last dollars that we're just making stretch as far as we can. But we still feel very supported. So that would be the best, is any ideas of connections we could make to financially support ourselves, or any financial abundance you could offer us. In return, we'd be very grateful. Even small amounts, $5 is everything.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Mariah. And I will add you to our group list, which is Transformation Dances. And that way people can find you more easily, hopefully, on Facebook and connect with you that way. And Eileen, if you're close to where she is, I'm not very good with California geography, but if you are...
I'm way up in the northwest corner of Washington State. She's a couple states away.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on the West Coast, but same time zone.
Yeah, at least you're on the West Coast. That's right. If anybody knows anybody in the area that she's in that needs some help with odd jobs or anything they can do, please support this wonderful, wonderful experience that she's shared with us and needs to share with the world. We're at a place where this is what they need to hear. And this is what we all need to do. And it takes a lot of courage. I really admire her and Jake and even her dog for having the courage to go on an adventure like this. I see your dog peek around every now and then.
Tired now.
Yeah, this is sweet. This is beautiful and a sweet thing to know about. So thank you so much, Mariah. And I'm going to share a few words that I've written over the years, living on the mountain, being homebound on this mountain for 17 years now. I've really felt a close relationship with Adigu, and it really helps me with all my challenges in life. So I'm just going to put all the poems that I came across that I've written over the last few years and share those with you, and then we're going to dance. So it started with a haiku. Red, yellow, then gold. Old trees are bare in their soul, dancing life's winter. And then a waka, which is a 5-7-5-7-7 rhythm. My spirit and heart, the forest celebrates life, the day of my birth. Birds and baby bears arrive. The trees all gift me new leaves, because I was born in the spring. And I encourage you with these words: visit with the trees in the forest. Share your many names with them as they share theirs with you. Speak of common roots reaching around the world. Of lightning strikes, both survive. The wisdom they hold may now be told. Sing with their leaves in the gentle rustling winds, and branches as branches become violins. Snuggle spine to spine with toes digging into sweet earth, reaching mysteries shrouded by roots held close to hearts. Nature dreams of humans returning to kindness. Can the value of beauty ever again exceed the value of money? Beauty that is naturally flowing with impermanence, creating presence in its path. Beauty of depth in meaning, beauty of balance at the edge of opposites, beauty felt fully in a soulful glimpse of reconciliation, beauty beyond thoughts of words, beauty as a gasp of clean air, consciously drawn deeper to fill our emptiness. Go sit under a white pine and reach down into the earth with your spine and your feet. Tap into its tap roots and reach up into the sky as high as you can stretch and grab hold with your longest fingers to the nothingness of everything you can touch. Set aside body and mind, search to soul, and nurture your spirit with everything you may want to take along on your journey to forever. And now Molly has a quote by Nietzsche that's going to encourage us as we get ready to dance.
Okay, so here it goes. And we should consider every day lost on which we have not danced at least once. And we should call every truth false which was not accompanied by at least one laugh.
Yes, thank you, Molly. So we're going to dance and laugh today. And you have the option of turning your Zoom camera on or off, your choice. Sitting and dancing with your hands. We join in the hand movements to become one in this dance. And I'm going to tell you what those hand movements are. And you can dance with your whole body, or you can dance with just your hands if you need to sit. And you can dance your own dance. Okay? However you dance, and joining ritual however you're comfortable joining. We're going to explore this topic after we dance. We're going to share our experience and any other poems or images or quotes that anyone else wants to share will be welcome then. And our 4 movements are to enter the forest, blowing kisses, blowing our kisses to each of those we encounter, the spirits of the trees, the spirits of the butterflies, the birds, everything that you hear me speak of in the guidance and the song. Look for it, reach for it, connect with it, however you can connect. If you can blow kisses, that's beautiful. If you can give it a virtual hug or any kind of hug or connection, just embody your connection to whatever you find there in the forest in the first movement of this music. Okay, and you wanna pluck out what you see. You wanna pull it in and weave it within your heart. And so you wanna listen with your heart. You wanna reach out and connect with your heart and with your ears. You wanna speak from your heart and you wanna listen with your heart in the first movement and just reach out after you blow kisses and look what to feel and put it in your heart. And then the next movement weaves everything into our heart. So it becomes part of us, becomes embodied within our heart. And so we weave our hands at the place of our heart. Yeah, Kate, show us, show us, Molly, if you have a chance. Anybody who wants to show these movements as I speak of them. And I know I'm so grateful to all of you who danced in the practice video. I know you know what they are, so just move along with me as I talk about them, please. And then at noon, we raise up with the trees to our highest and best, and we reach for those limbs that are seemingly over our head, and we climb. We hold on and we bring our bodies, and then we reach over here, and we secure ourselves, and we bring our bodies over. And we climb to our highest and best, where we want to be every day. Every opportunity, we want to remember to reach to our highest and best and be holding on at our highest and best whenever possible. Okay, that's the third movement. And then as we continue our journey, we are reminded that the fresh fruits call in the animals. And we are reminded also that the animal spirits in the lower realms support us, protect us, and help guide us, as well as our teachers that we just reached to in the higher realms. So we want to bring these 3 realms together. On the middle realm, earth, where we are, we only work with the elements, earth, air, fire, and water. We do not work with the disembodied spirits. We only work with the elements on this realm. Teachers in the higher realm, power animals in the lower realm. So we want to feel the presence of those animals. We don't always see them, you know, but we feel them and we hear them in the way that Mariah hears her guidance, you know. So we hold up our hands like the martial arts do. We put our palms together and we feel that energy. And then we just send our hands out as antenna so that we can feel when the animals are near and when their animal spirit wants to join us and help us and guide us. So this movement, this third movement, is just feeling everything around us, feeling the spirit of everything around us. And this combines both animism and shamanism. And that's not a word I like, you know, our language is medicine people. So we feel the spirit and we feel the medicine of everything around us that wants to help us and join us. And again, our prayers are only for help and help in the Salah way, because then we have everything we need. When we have help, we have help, and that's all we need. So we feel the energies around us and we connect with them in this third movement. And then in the fourth movement, the stars come out because we came from the stars, and we return to the stars, to the darkness, and the fireflies come out and they flicker and they light up these untruths that we've lived with in our culture, that we're conditioned by through our culture. They light up these untruths that lead us to the truth of our own nature. And that's what the transformation is about, returning to our own nature, our true, unique human nature that we bring in and we come here to create on this plane and in this lifetime and in this journey. So are there any questions before we dance? Martin and Pamela are going to mute everybody, and they're going to spotlight you if you want to be joining in your dance visibly. Just leave the camera on and they will spotlight you. If you're comfortable with that, let them know if you're not, and that's okay. Either way, any way you want to do it, it's all good. Okay, are there any questions about the movements or the dance? Before we start the music and begin dancing, just unmute and ask your question if you have any questions. Okay, we look good to go. And remember to let your eyes lower a little bit to reach that unconscious soul feeling and be danced, be moved and danced by your soul. But at the same time, balance that with the ego mind so that you're safe in your surroundings, you're aware of your boundaries, and you're able to be comfortable in your dancing space. Okay, so Martin, if you will turn that music up real loud so we can hear and dance together. Mute us, especially me.
Martin, can you do the magic where you play the music, but Gail is still big?
Yep, sorry, I'm backing up.
Yeah, you click on advanced and then computer audio.
In the darkest hour preceding dawn, we gather the symbols and images from the dream world and invite our soul to guide us in each moment, connecting to eternity. As sun rises over sacred mountains and our moon sets, we enter the forest with kisses greeting all of the luminous healing spirits. We begin this dance blowing kisses to sky, sun rays, dewdrops on spider webs, and moist earth beneath our feet. Blow kisses of gratitude and connection to all around us for one more minute, please. Birds begin their song at dawn, and we add our voice to the grateful chorus around us, swaying with the winds of change and sending heartfelt energy to join the ethers moving through us, reaching out to ancestors, the eldest being stones who have been here from the beginning, have done their work and can help with ours. we learn to listen deeply within the marrow of our bones. Each sunrise acknowledges renewal, radiating all around us. May we cleanse and clear as we merge the waters everywhere with all that flows within us. Dance with the winds of change and reach out to all for 2 minutes now. Us up tall with the trees as we climb to our highest and best. Their rooted, yielding example beckons our bodies to loosen the grips we cling to and relax into the truest trust, with the mother archetype providing just what we need, just when we need it. The pre-verbal knowing that sustains new life and all life. Climb to our best for 2 minutes now. open fully in the path of the sun as we acknowledge our own gifts in their times to shine within community. Peak fruition of the full flavors and call to the animal helpers. In this fourth world, as they prepare us to step fully into humane actions, relaxed palms turn like antenna, perceiving and blossoming into receiving nature's abundance within balance. Thunders feed new life in spring. Falling leaves return nourishment to our seeds in the soil, just like we share our experiences in the fall of our lives. And snow blankets and snuggles Grandmother Earth in winter. Feel the energy around us through our palms for another minute, please. Twilight mysteries bring the magic of the stars back to us, and fireflies flicker, lighting untruths that lead to momentary truths within this universe. Cycles of sweet moonlight teach us appropriate choice in place and time for the actions of the fires fully felt within our heart. Nature heals us within the mystical numinous majesty of the fullness of life. We transition again and again back into the restful night for the guidance from our soulful connection to eternity.
Oh, thank you all so much. Oh, look at your transformation. Look at your face. Look at your eyes. Feel your body in a new way after dancing. Take a drink, take a breath, do whatever you need. Take care of yourself. Ah. And just luxuriate in the balance of body, mind, and spirit. We dance to balance earth, and we balance ourselves as we dance. And we share that balance with all that we encounter in this beautiful space that we've all created together. So unmute yourself and share your experience in any way that you wish to. This is how we integrate. We talk with each other and share what we experienced, and we avoid appropriation by sharing and talking and coming together and integrating our experiences in this way. So just unmute and say anything you want to say.
I was dancing with the birds, and the little hummingbird, I have a fountain, and the little hummingbird was hovering above the fountain, and she flits through and comes back, and then she flits through again, and she did that as the dance started.
Mm.
And then the chickadees were all up in that big cedar. So Mother Nature just brought everybody in. It was amazing.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Eileen, and the hummingbirds and the chickadees and all the beauty around you that danced with you, danced with all of us today. Anyone else have beautiful things like that during their dance or anything during their dance? No questions or poems?
I was having.
Well, I just,
Oh,
go ahead, Robert.
I just was going to say I was having a nice moonlit walk at Bombay Huck with the birds, and it was very, very relaxing and peaceful.
Your spirit went wandering in your dance. Your spirit went wandering to your favorite relationship spot with nature and Xavier, your dog.
And the fireflies were out.
Nice. Beautiful spirit walk, spirit dance. Wow. Sweet.
Gail, I think I'd just like to say that the first time I heard drumming and some of the native music, I didn't like it, and so I guess if somebody should catch us by what the world are they doing, I remember how, the assimilation at first seemed kind of crazy in some of the things I do, like when I first joined you, it's like, well, seems kind of crazy. But as I have developed more of a deeper communication with Mother Earth, I just get the confirmations all the time that she is so hearing me and alive and spreading my message, so to speak, that it may look crazy to some, but I know that there is a communication that we're unaware of that occurs, as evidenced by all the birds that come around, all the experiences we have. And I'm getting wise. I know I need headphones to take you. And so it was just 100 degrees outside though, so I had to settle for the porch, just being as close to nature. I wanted to go up to a place, there's a place called Inspiration Point. And it's kind of this look off, it's like the Grand Canyon of South Dakota. It's so beautiful. But I haven't been up there in so long, and I don't know if I'd get signal. Anyway, so I just wanted to throw that out, that these ways of connecting with the soul of the world in a non-mechanical, in a very organic way, really grow on you. And as they do, this beautiful this pathway and story that unfolds in beauty because of it. So thank you, and
Oh, yes.
keep participating.
Yes, everybody, please. And Molly and I remember when we first started talking about dancing in our women's circle, Kate's response was, I can't see myself dancing on Zoom. And now she's like totally transformed to be here and thoroughly immersed in it. It's such a beautiful example. Thank you all for going through the transformation process and being here. Yeah, the crickets were fabulous, Eileen. I agree. I love dancing with the crickets. Yeah. Anyone else want to share their experience? Okay.
Yeah, just thank you for this opportunity. And I didn't realize, I guess it was going to be the dance that we, I guess, practiced or did before. I didn't know if it was going to be unfamiliar or, but I felt so transported into my little Sweetwater Creek. I know I call it mine. It's not mine, but listening to Mariah speak about the mountains, and that's the way I feel about the manatees and this creek. The more time I spend in it and out there, it's just deep listening, and that sensing with your palms. That's what I was doing when this manatee just sort of surrendered itself to me right after I got back from Wisconsin, and I you know, Mariah, you have courage to be listening and so overtly, and it's a brave thing that you're doing. I don't know how this is connected, but I know that it is. When I was in Wisconsin, I went into the state capitol building, and I just felt myself pulled. I don't even know why I was going or where I was going. I just decided I needed to go up a level or even 2 levels. I'm not sure how many levels I went up. And I ended up walking right into these flags. And I felt like, I think the same way you described mountains, the same way when I know the manatees are out there and I feel like they're talking to me. And, but it was the nations, it was the tribe of it was the flags for every nation, and I felt like I had to touch them, but I felt like they were already moving, like there was sound, and it was silent, but it was sound. I get goosebumps thinking about it, but it's very similar to the listening in the creek that I'm so learning, and then I'm being taught. I think my dogs are listening to something now. So, but that sensing with the palms and that's what I feel like or throwing kisses. That's when I'm out there, it's just like beloveds, you know, just presence yourself, and they do, and they do. Thank you.
Yes, that's beautiful, Michelle. Thank you. Someone else?
Closer and closer, Michelle. When I was dancing, the part that struck me the most was when I was climbing the trees. I would climb up a certain level, and then I would fly around, and then I'd fly back to where the tree was, and then I'd climb up another level, and then fly around some more, come back. Which is interesting considering I could fly, but I thought it was a good metaphor for climbing up to the next level and still connecting with the tree, which is connected to all. So it was nice.
Yes, Martin, I was flying too. I was surprised to be flying. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Anyone else flying?
Very peaceful ending. During the dance, it was like my hands were expressing language, and there was coming up a sign if I wanted to speak, but I didn't have any words. Just my hands, it was just like my hands were talking. And this really creates a kind of peace, inner peace inside. And when you asked about to connect with the animal world, it's really close with an animal. It's the Wiesent, it's the European buffalo, and it's like hugging, being very close and connected, and very much feeling the strength of the animal, but also the perseverance. And last dance of stars, it's like, you know, like your soul gets kind of naked and dive to the leftover, the leftover in a way, and just being. So it was a very good experience. Thank you very much.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Serena. Yeah, if anyone needs evidence of our transformation, just look at the glowing faces here. Yes.
Sorry?
Glow. Look at how everyone is just glowing from dancing. It's so beautiful to see our full body transformation like this. Yeah. Anyone else, please?
My hands are still glowing too, by the way. And we couldn't hear you, Kate.
Share. So yeah, I really wanted to be in the garden as well, but I know it's full of crickets, but I didn't manage to be in that space. So I was called by a rosemary, and I felt like this rosemary wanted to be present, and in a dance, what it was called to me, it felt like antennas actually. Like, yeah, we just need to put those antennas up, almost like crickets, and tuning to this world, more like being called to nature, just like, yeah, open up our antennas and tune in and just see what nature wants from us rather than what do we want from nature. I'm very grateful to be here in this beautiful space and hear everyone's stories and sharings. It's so inspiring. Thank you, Gail, and all. And thank you, Gabri, for helping with the song. Thank you all. Lots of love.
Yes, so much love and gratitude to all the help from everyone here. And this is how we find our gifts, by coming into community. You know, all those who read today and danced in the preview to practice with came into this community. I didn't know a lot of you before we started doing this, and now it's just beautiful to feel connections and the vibrations that we've created in this way. Anyone else want to speak of their experience or share a poem or anything on topic? Okay, we're all quiet. Everyone has said what they need to say. This is the Salagi way of agreement. It's not consensus. It's being heard, fully expressing and being heard. And then it's a very quiet place where we have nothing more to say. So if anyone needs to say one more thing to be in that space, you're very welcome. And if not, if you feel the fullness and you feel complete, we will close our sacred container with a song of gratitude. And I am so grateful for all of you for supporting these transformations. And every one of us that goes in this way of creating balance and dancing to balance the earth and transforming to create something new makes a difference and connects to the collective, the world soul. So I'm grateful to each and every one of you. And Molly for so much support all along the way. I just met her in first dance, and I'm grateful to Gabri, who stepped up with the music. If you had ever told me that my shamanic drumming would be combined with space rock musician in the UK, that linear message probably would not have gotten through. It is such a beautiful adventure to share the music and the creation with Gabri. And also to Pamela for tech support. Oh, thank goodness you're here, taking care of us and backing us up, doing what needs to be done. And the same with Martin. Thank you so much for being here and support and helping us. And all of you, you know, who have become so close in our heartfelt community. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you to Mariah for coming in today and sharing your story, your experiences, showing the difference in experience and words. And direct experience is what we are going for here. And that's what we're creating. And I love seeing the beautiful glow that your bodies, your faces, your beings take on when you do this transformation. So, one more chance to speak. And if I've forgotten anybody, I'm grateful to each and every one.
I would also like to thank everybody for the wonderful stories and accounts that all of you shared. And I am also very grateful to be able to have been here today. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, Rob. Any other words of gratitude before we sing our gratitude? Okay, join me however you will in a Lakota traditional gratitude song. Since we called in our ancestors in Lakota song and asked them to help make it a sacred place, we sing the song that they're familiar with in closing this sacred place, closing this sacred container, but taking our glow out into the world. And this song is about our gratitude for being able to walk this red road in this native ancestral way. Wehaya, heya, ya, wehaya, heya, ya, wehaya, oh, hey. Chankaluta, Brahmawan, yellow, Chunkashla, Pilamaya, yellow, hey. Chanpagilea, Cherokee, Chunkashla, Chunkashla. Oh, beautiful Kate. Keep dancing to this drum beat. Thank you all so much. And we'll see you before the next month. We'll see you in Peace Week whenever we figure out when that is. It's sometimes around the middle of September, I guess near the full moon. We'll set an actual date as soon as they open up the schedules. So stay tuned, and I'll add those of you who are not in the Transformation Dance Messenger group so that you can keep up with when the next date will be. And we'll be dancing to the song that Gabri called in for Water is Life. Gabri and Molly called in the next song. And it's a beautiful song, Water is Life. And Martin, you can give them a sneak preview if you want, if you have that recording. You can play just a little bit of. It's really beautiful. If you want to just play maybe the first minute or two, can you do that easily? Okay, thank you. And of course, I'll be looking for people to dance who need to dance in the preview, the practice preview. So anybody who wants to join in that, just let me know. And I guess we'll be doing that pretty soon. Now the song's up, probably in the next week or so, whenever it's easy for everyone. And also be thinking about, let me know when you're ready, Martin, but be thinking about, we're running out of our days of the full moon. We've gone from 4 to 7. We don't want to go beyond 7, so we may have to change our date from the first of the month pretty soon, back up into the previous, maybe the last whatever day of the month. Be thinking about that. Martin, are you ready to give us that little sneak preview?
Yes.
Hey, tune in. Here comes Water is Life.
Go share screen. It's not on the big screen.
I can't tell if you can hear it or not.
Yeah, we can hear it, Martin. If everybody mutes, it'll be a little more clear. We couldn't hear the guidance. You weren't in a guidance point. Did everybody get a feel for the music? The voices?
Is there sight with it? No.
Not yet. That's what we got to dance.
Okay.
to.
Oh, duh.
That one. Okay, come join us. Yeah, the drum beat does sound good, Eileen. Thank you. Yeah. And we got the wolves and the baby bears and the water. The water from when it boils up through the earth, when it just rolls into the spring and then starts its journey down the mountain, and when it becomes the river, and when it returns, and the sky is rain, and when it's in the ocean, it sinks to the very bottomless part of the ocean and then boils back up. And we start off as the mist. We start off dancing as the mist, and then the mist resists gravity and it falls into the gorge. It creates electricity, it creates energy that cannot be contained. It's our life force. We're going to dance with it next time, so I hope you all will join us. And bring your friends. There's always room for more. Thank you all so much. And Martin, if you would stop the recording.